Hi, my name is Sammy. I am a real estate broker here in Los Angeles, California. I do a lot of social media and, Instagram, Facebook posts, but I wanted to do a little bit of a longer form thing. So this is one of my first forays into doing some YouTube videos. So I just wanted to share some of my semi-anecdotal and semi-data driven predictions for the LA real estate market in 2024. People have been asking me my opinion whenever I mention that I'm in real estate. So just kind of wanted to share some of the conversations I've been having and kind of what I've been talking about with folks recently. So my number one prediction is that in 2024, sellers will come back. So in 2023, with rising rates, I think sellers really took a back seat and they chose to wait if they were going to list their home. Unless you were in distress or you were retiring and moving out of state or you had a death in the family, a trust or probate sale, there really was no reason to sell your home and try to enter the market as a buyer with higher rates. You probably already had refinanced in 2020 or 2021 and locked in a great rate. So there was really no reason for you to get into the market, sell, and try to buy again. Last year in 2023, I only listed one house and it was a family probate sale. Already at the beginning of this year, I've signed two listings within the first week. And just anecdotally, that's telling me that people who've been thinking about selling are, at least reaching out to their realtor and seeing what their options are. So that's on sellers. Number two, I think repeat buyers are going to come back into the market. Honestly, I think that 2023 was a fantastic year for first-time home buyers. I know that this is the media saying this is a terrible time to buy, but I do think that because so many repeat buyers were holding off, first-time buyers really had a lot less competition. Out of all of my transactions, two-thirds of those were home first-time buyers. Of the five buyers who were repeat buyers, we also managed to help them buy their next property without having to sell the first one. So that was cool. They're, keeping it as a rental or figuring out how to keep both properties. So I think the market last year was still really competitive, but because there were fewer buyers competing, we really did have a lot more opportunities in terms of negotiating discounts, repairs, credits. It never was fully like a buyer's market or anything, but it also didn't feel anything like the hot seller's market of the pandemic. So definitely new buyers, I think, had to lower their expectations, buy a more sensible house, meaning a little bit more price conscious. Um, but they were able to get their foot in the door kind of at a lower price while other people were just waiting it out. So my average purchase price did go down last year, but the number of transactions went up. So I think people were just eager to see what they could do. And I think the people who were actively looking were able to make something happen. Now, this year, I do think because of the, media hype, I do think repeat buyers are going to start coming back to the market, meaning people who've bought before or they're going to sell and level up to their next place or they're going to keep their old home as a rental. So I do think those folks are going to be coming back into the market and it's going to increase competition. Number three, commercial and multifamily will start moving again. So many commercial and residential multifamily loans are not fixed for 30 years. They're anywhere from 3, 5, 7 years. So anything that was bought in the last 3 to 7 years, those loans are going to start coming due. Either there's a balloon payment due or the rates adjust. Obviously, if you bought at 3% and your rate's now, 8%, it's going to be a problem. So operators of these types of assets are either going to need to come up with cash to refinance or they're going to have to sell. So I do expect there to be some movement. I do think operators who were used to the sub 4% rates really need to think carefully about their financing and exit strategies. I do think the conservative buyers who had really strong underwriting skills, they're going to be fine. And I think they're going to be the ones coming in to save the I can promise you double-digit returns, overconfident investors that abounded in the last few years. So I don't know that we're going to have massive price drops in multifamily that some people are expecting. And I'm not talking about big skyscraper, huge developments. I'm talking about like 5 to 70 unit buildings, even 5 to 50 units, kind of like the small multifamily and then commercial and like strip mall retail and stuff. But I do think there's going to be enough price adjustment and enough distressed sellers that the experienced buyers are going to be ready to pick up their mess. So, and then my last prediction, which is pretty obvious, is that rates will continue to drop. Um, that's not new. Everybody's talking about that. If you've been waiting for rates to drop, then you have not been paying attention. So rates have already been dropping. And honestly, the buyers who've been actively in the market have already been taking advantage of this. We had one escrow that was open longer than usual because our buyer was purchasing the home. The sellers needed to purchase their own home. So, we just had a longer escrow so both of those things could happen. And just in the time we opened escrow to when we closed, our buyer was able to get a much lower rate and lower payment with rates dropping, December to January. We took a risk, an educated risk together, and we didn't lock him. So we let his rate float and we were able to lower his payment from his original offer. So I'm also seeing refinances kick into gear this month. For folks who bought at higher rates last year, some of them can already start to take advantage of the lower rates depending on when they bought. But we're definitely checking in with them and seeing, if it makes sense for them to refinance. For context, 8 of my last 20 transactions have been since October of 2023. That's when we really started to see pricing improve. So I think these buyers have been, taking advantage of the incremental drops while everyone's still, waiting for rates to drop on the sidelines. So once you hear that in the media, you'll be the last to hear. Honestly, the best way is to be in contact with a lender. If you're looking to purchase, the way to know if rates are dropping is to actually be talking to a lender weekly to kind of see, okay, what's the market looking like? So I don't have a crystal ball. I have no idea what's going to happen in 2024. It could be an apocalypse, could be the best year ever, whatever. But I just wanted to do a snapshot of what I'm feeling and predicting this year from my on the ground experience. I'm happy to chat anytime. You can schedule a call with me at the link below. And if you want to sign up for my newsletter, this is where I sent my predictions out first. You can go to www.buyahouseInla.com, and you'll also get a free guide to down payment assistance too when you sign up. So yeah, that's me. I'm Sammy Lyon. I'm a real estate broker in Los Angeles. I helped 17 people buy a house in 2023, and I'm really into house hacking and FIRE, financial independence. And yeah, I do real estate full-time, investing and realtor in Los Angeles. Thanks. See you next.